Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats, you know that we gotta run it back. Whether on the field or the court, you know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media. All right, so news out of Seattle yesterday, where a report that was about the investigation prior to everything that was going on with the Seattle Storm between Skylar Diggins, Jewell Loyd, Nneka Onwuka, Noah Quinn, and other staffers. Well, we can put that to rest because the findings was nothing. They said that they didn't find anything. There was no wrongdoing or anything that has been transpired within the organizations between the staff, coaches, and other players. Now, we all know that there has been a lot of fireworks in the last few weeks about what's going on with the Seattle Storm. You know, Jewell Loyd, her play wasn't up to par. So she felt like that she was supposed to get she could have made a bonus for playing, but she didn't. So forth and so on. So now, after yesterday, an hour later, reports came out that Jewell Loyd requested a trade. Now, ESPN reported, but Annie Constable, who's always been top-notch reporter, dig deep, break all the kind of news there is, she was the one that broke the news about Stephanie White potentially leaving Connecticut. Nobody believed it, but, and other sources within, confirmed. So she broke this through the Chicago Sun-Times that Jewell Loyd requested a trade from Seattle. Go ahead and pull that up right there. She said Jewell Loyd requested a trade out of Seattle. Multiple sources told the Sun-Times on Wednesday. So with that being said, is that Jewell Loyd is not happy. She don't like the culture there. Now, Jewell Loyd been there. She won 2 championships with them. She's been an all-star. She's just been an Olympian and everything else. But even in her Olympic play wasn't good. But what is the real issue going on behind the scenes? Now, there got to be something there, because the fact of the matter is, when people say, well, there ain't no findings of the investigation, there's one or two things. There's a cover-up. You know what I'm saying? And for a player to say, well, you know what, hey, since y'all didn't honor my investigation and I think that I have a reasonable case, I would like to be out. Because that tells you one or two things. Now, people could sit there and say, well, Jewell Loyd, she may be the issue with the team. That's not always the case. That is not always the case, because you got to look at it from two sides. Organizations are quick. They are quick to cover up stuff. Organizations are known to cover up wrongdoing. They known to make it look like the player was the problem. Now, we already know that Nneka Onwuka, she's not on the up and up because of her close relationship with Noah Quinn. So quite naturally, she's already a part of the WNBA unions rep. So you think she's going to have some kind of, And then if other players had a meeting about Nneka, and Jewell said, well, I want out, what are you thinking that the other players are thinking at the same time? They might want out too. Now, that would be crazy if all these players start saying, well, we want to be traded out of the organization. So you got to look at it from all aspects, not just to say, well, Jewell Loyd was a problem or she was an issue. You look at Skylar Diggins. She's very unhinged. She's an unhinged person. And the way she was yelling in a meeting, cursing players out and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about Nneka And Skylar Diggins wasn't there when Jewell Loyd was there. Jewell Loyd advocated for them to come there. And then you see how that turned against Jewell Loyd, because now they want to run the team. They want to be the focal point of the team. We don't want Jewell Loyd to be the focus of the team. So let me go ahead. The Chicago Sky and WNBA Sports, the column was, Jewell Loyd requested a trade from Seattle Storm. Loyd was the center of the Storm's investigation into its coaching staff. A source close to the situation told us some time. Her future in Seattle was contingent upon a belief that relationships within the organization could be mended. Now, this is what they wanted to do with Jewell Loyd. When they say they wanted relationships to be mended, the fact of the matter is that they want her to sweep it under the rug, where they don't want none of this. Because I'm sure they probably came to Jewell Loyd and said, look, you can sweep this under the rug because you don't have nobody on your side. And if she didn't have nobody on her side, they're gonna say, well, we could just say, hey, we're gonna have our investigator do it, and then we could just pay him and say there's no findings. They do it all the time. We've seen it time and time again through sports that these investigators say, oh, we didn't have no findings. You know what I'm saying? So the Storm announced Wednesday that its investigation was alleged harassment and bullying, concluded with no violation found, but the team is bracing for a significant change into the roster. The two-time WNBA champ, former Niles West star Jewell Loyd has requested a trade. Sources close to the star told us sometime on Wednesday. Loyd, who was drafted by the Storm in 2015 and was named Rookie of the Year, she was the #1 overall pick and was the center of the investigation dealing with the Storm coaching staff and close. So I had to pull up another article just to make sure I get most of this article read out, read out and everything like that. So now, also it was it said that the Storm recently received internal allegations of its workplace policy. So this is from ESPN. But it also said that Jewell Loyd was the person that leaked the information to them. Also, Jewell Loyd, she signed a 2-year extension with the team in 2023. So she still had another year left on her contract, and depends on what her contract is. Loyd's return helped attract massive free agents, like I said, Nika and Skylar Diggins. And see, like I said, Nika has a personal relationship with Noah Quinn. They play together, so she coached the team, so it's only fitting. And you already heard Nika Umake went out on a limb and say, oh, well, this is pretty, I like Seattle because of the relationship or whatever the case may be. So, but, this group went 25 and 15 in the playoffs before getting swept. Loyd averaged 19 points for the season, but her 30% shooting percentage was the worst of her career, and her three-point clip was 27.4, lowest of her career. So now this is where it's going to get tricky at. The former Notre Dame star, Chicago native, is currently under contract with the Storm until 2025. Okay, so she just signed a 2-year deal, so she has 2 years left, this year and next year. So, and her salary is over $249,000. And like most WNBA players, she is set to become a free agent in 2026. So she's still under extension, and with the new collective bargaining agreement, it is expected to come into come in effect that year. So former WNBA player Noah Quinn, a former teammate of Lloyd's from 2016 to 2018, completed her fourth season as Seattle's head coach in 2024. Quinn's staff this past season included former WNBA player Ebony Hoffman, former WNBA head coach Pokey Chapman, and Perry Home are assistant coaches. Home, who have been with the Storm for 7 seasons while also coaching the G League, left after the playoff to become an assistant to Zach Guthers for the Los Angeles Lakers G League team. So, all right. So if Jewell Loyd has a contract that high, and this is where people is running with the narrative, talking about, well, she's from Chicago, bring her to Chicago, trade her for Chicago. It's not going to be that easy because of her contract. Because you still got Kennedy Carter, who is an unrestricted free agent, that you looking to see if you could bring her back or ship her off, because you're going to have to find a trade for her. Now, could they swap players? I don't think the Storm going to want Kennedy Carter, to be honest with you. I don't think the Storm going to want the number 3 pick also, because they're going to want a player. And they definitely don't want Kennedy Carter. Now, Kennedy Carter could benefit them, but she's not a good 3-point shooter too. She would be but she's more, to me, I think she's younger than Lloyd, because Lloyd is 31. You know what I'm saying? The Aces could make a run at her because of Kelsey Plum's situation too. But like I said, Lloyd is 31. So you think about by the time her contract is up, she'd be about 33, 34 years old. Will you want to pay her a declining athlete? You know what I'm saying? That probably is not going to be any, you could probably get some more uses out of her, but by that time, she's going to be up there about 34, 35 years old, and she's going to be older. And do you want to play her with a new collective bargaining agreement, a big contract? So, if Chicago Sky was to try to trade for her, they would have to give up the number 3 pick, and they'll probably have to try to do a player swap with Kennedy Carter and her. That's the only way it's going to work. But that's only if if the Seattle Storm going to want Kennedy Carter. The number 3 pick is not going to be enough. Yeah, because you got to think about it. Kennedy Carter, to me, I feel is more efficient, especially when it comes to finishing around the basket, her pull-up game. She's starting to shoot a little threes, could be better, but she runs the floor well. Jewell Loyd, you could tell she looks like she done slow down a little bit. Yeah, she had them 2 massive games against the Fever early in the season, but she didn't have that. The last time they played it, she didn't have that kind of game. And then look at what she did in the playoffs. She was non-existent. So for her to want to get traded, a team probably gonna have to want value. Now, I say the thing about it is the Atlanta Dream could use her. They could use a person like Jewell Loyd, to be honest with you, because they need that kind of I forgot the girl that the young girl. They need that combination with them to have more scoring. They don't have enough scoring there. Same thing with, I think, the Washington Mystics. They don't have enough scoring as well too. Especially now, they score a lot off their bench, but they don't have a starter scoring. Chicago will be in the same. You definitely are not going to have Jewell Loyd and Kennedy Carter on the same team. One of them has to leave. So all this notion that everybody's talking about, bring her home, pair her up with Angel and Kennedy Carter, no, because you got to look at the Chicago Sky salary cap. So let me try to pull that out real quick. Real quick. So I'm trying to look at the number of cap space that he got. Okay, hold on, let me go back out real quick. Okay. So the actual number could be higher. Last December, early projection of the 2024 cap just above 240 million, but the final number is 255 million. The market, I don't know if that's right or not. To me, I don't even know if that's right or not. Okay, so they cap space is pretty much over $1 million, right? They only had the total cap is over $1 million. The cap space right now is 133,000. So that they don't even have enough money to even bring back Kennedy Carter or try to trade for Jewell Loyd, because you would have to take on Jewell Loyd, the rest of Jewell Loyd's contract. And if your cap space is only 133,000, then you can't get her. Because if you look at everybody's cap hit right now on this team, you got rookie deals with Kennedy Carter. She's only making 76,000 right now. You definitely gonna have to pay her more if you plan on keeping her. Angel Reese is on a rookie deal. Cardozo's on a rookie deal, but Cardozo's getting paid a little bit more than Angel Reese. Then you got Lindsay Allen of 90, Rachel Benham 95, Diamond Shields over 100,000, Mara Jefferson over 100,000, Brianna Turner over 150,000, Isabel Harrison, but she's a free agent, so that should be coming off. But like I said, they don't even have enough money to get Jewell Loyd. That's the thing about it is, and that's where you look at it. Now, some people say, well, the Fever could trade for her. No, the Fever don't need to trade for her, because you guess what? Kelsey Mitchell is a better version of her. Some people think that, and if you look at the numbers between these two this year, I would take Kelsey Mitchell over her, because Kelsey Mitchell is 29. She just turned 29. Jewell Loyd is 31. You already see a little decline in her. Kelsey Mitchell is more fast-paced. Now, she's not as tall as Jewell Loyd, but you can look at it and you can clearly see that Kelsey Mitchell is a better opposition. From three-point field goal percentage, the numbers pretty much the same. Kelsey is 2-time All-Star. Jewell's a 6-time. She got 2 championships. She's a first team All-NBA. She's 3-time All-NBA. If you look at their numbers, it's pretty similar, except for the games. Their numbers pretty much this year, Kelsey was averaging 16.8. She was averaging 16.9, but it could be a little bit higher than that. You know what I'm saying? But their numbers is not that off from each other. So why would you want to trade for Jewell Loyd and get? To me, I think you'll get a less production, because Jewell Loyd, when she's not, same thing with Kelsey, is she's not on. But I would take Kelsey Mitchell over Jewell Loyd right now. At this moment right now, yeah. Because the age factor, because Kelsey runs the floor very well. Jewell Loyd, to me, I don't know. In her prime, younger, she probably would, she was that. But for what she was looking like this year, defensive wise, you know what I'm saying? And you won't want a 31-year-old person coming to your team to be your first option. You know what I'm saying? She's not the franchise cornerstone no more. you know, and that's probably one reason why, hey, the Seattle Storm probably was looking to trade her. So they said, well, and they probably gave her the permission to say, hey, go ask for a trade, see what the market is for you. But I don't think that the Chicago Sky is going to get her because they don't have the money. Because they still got to figure out everything else on their roster, and they still got to figure out with the Kennedy Carter situation, if they're going to bring her back and pay her. Now, if they don't bring her back and they find, because they got to find a trade partner for Kennedy Carter as well, if they don't want her on the roster, even if they did entertain the notion to bring Jewell Loyd. But I still say this, you could get Jewell Loyd, you're going to lose one of the other, Kennedy Carter or Jewell Loyd. And if you replace Jewell Loyd with Kennedy Carter, guess what? You're still going to be in the same position. Because Jewell Loyd is going to be 32 next year, 33, 34, and guess what? You got a girl like Kennedy Carter that's in her 20s, like 25, and you still going to have a lot of years left with her if you decide to keep her. So even though Jewell Loyd wants out, I don't know where she could go, to be honest with you. But all that Chicago Sky talk, nah, I don't see that happening. The money just don't add up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to cut a bunch of people just to make it fit. If you decide to make it fit, you're going to have to get rid of trying to trade people or cut people, or whatever the case may be. Then your roster is going to be really bad looking for the next 2 or 3 years or 2 years or so. So that's just my take on it. Jewell Loyd asked for a trade. Hey, what's new? What's new in the WNBA? You know, it's what it is. So, but it's going to be interesting to see what you get. Now, I can say the Golden State Valkyries, since they are a special team, they could probably be a team that ended up, and then Jewell Loyd can still stay on the West Coast. You know, a fresh team. She could be the face of that team. She ain't got to worry about nothing. That will be to me, that will be a perfect team for her to go to. She'd be the face of that team. You know, like I said, she still got about 2 or 3, you know, about a good 4 or 5 years left. She could be the face of the team. They could build the team around her. You know what I'm saying? And then she could be the brand of that team. You know, so maybe it's something that the Valkyries could work out with the Seattle Storm. I think that would work better to me. I would think that would work better. Because then when the new CBA up, you could probably give her another extension or another deal or whatever the case may be, or you could core her, keep her intact until you find her replacement. You know what I'm saying? Because you could core her up to 3 times. So, but it's what it is. Tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Until then, Live Wire Sports. I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.